All right, we are live. Hey, players, welcome to another live stream here on my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Josh. Every single week, I make videos sharing tips, ideas, and stories teaching you how to be your best self. And Valentine's Day is right around the corner, so I figured it only makes sense to do a Valentine's Day Q&A. Whatever it is you guys have planned, whether you're going to spend Valentine's Day single, whether you're going to be going on a virtual date, whether you're going to be doing an in-person date, whether you're at the point where you want to ask out your crush, you don't really have those plans yet, but they are on the horizon. You want to figure out what to do. This is an open Q&A. You guys can ask anything you want, anything that's on your mind. I'm here to answer questions and help you guys out. I want to give shout outs to all the early birds here in the chat. Those are the people that jumped in right from the get-go. So if you haven't already, hit the thumbs up on this video and jump into the chat and say hello. If you're a regular, I know the regulars in here, but sometimes there's always new people that pop in. So if you're someone that's new, make sure to introduce yourself. Let's see who we got. Eduardo TV, good to have you, Eduardo. Alexander Cole, Cringe Boy is in here. Alex Burns, Everglow, Yancey Cobian, good to have you, Yancey. Austin is in here. Synchro Legend, The Plush Productions, Manbull, MBBK, Raquan the Gamer, Anthony Quentel, Christian Barron, Jalen is in here as well. Good to have you, Jalen. Music Man, Hamish K. Hamish, always a pleasure to have you in the live streams, man. Christian Barron, I think it's a Christian Barron. Cringe Boy, Hunter J, K, Kaj6. Let's see, who did I get? Fred Try is in here. Dave Video Studio, good to have you, David. Rage Master, Lorenzo Calderon, Azim is in here. It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood. Grayson the Goosebump Kid, Andrew Ernie, Manbull, J182. Is J182 a playoff of Blink 182? Dark Knight Plays is in here. Fred Try, RoboPig, Living in 2021, Sus Cat. Sus Cat's pretty sus. Clickfire's in here. The Juan Speaks. Good to have you, Juan. Let's see. Judah Rondez. Jay is in here. J182. And Horrormore. Good to have all of you guys in here. I'm super excited to jump in and answer your guys' questions. Before I do that, though, I want to say, like I said, if you haven't already hit the thumbs up on this video, the more thumbs up we get, the more people it pushes it out to let them know, hey, come into the live stream and check it out. Miguel Bell is in here as well. Nigel Williams. Good to have all of you guys in here. Now, if you have a burning question, this live stream is dedicated to answering questions. But if you have a burning question, as questions are flying in the chat, I might not catch them all. I may not see them all. So let's take a step back here. If you have a question that you want to ask, that you want to put front and center for me to see, meaning you want it to just pop up, I will stop what I'm talking about, I will answer your question. You can always use the super chat function to do that. You could donate $1, $2, $5, or if you just want to support this stream, you can, donate a super chat. But I take super chats very, very seriously. So if you ask a super chat question, I will stop and I will give you a super detailed answer to make sure I get you an answer to the question that you have. So I'm pumped. I'm excited for this live stream. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, guys. I want you guys to just fire off questions, whether they're Valentine's Day questions, dating questions you have, life questions, whatever it is. I want to jump in and kind of give advice and answer those things for you. Now, before I do that, before I get into answering questions, we're going to set up a chat poll here that I'm going to keep coming back to because I want to hear everyone's perspective on. I want every single person watching to vote. Let's start the poll and let's hope it works correctly this time. Let's get a chat poll going here. I'm curious, guys. What are your plans for Valentine's Day? Now, to vote in this poll, all you have to do is type exactly what it says there, the exclamation point vote, and the word single, date, or virtual. Are you going to be single for Valentine's Day? You don't really have any plans. Are you going on a date with someone in person? Are you going to be having a virtual date? Maybe you guys will talk online and spend time talking to each other there. Let me know what you guys have planned for Valentine's Day. You can vote in the poll. All you have to do is type it out in the chat and it should pop up right there. So as you guys vote through in that poll, we'll kind of see throughout the stream where everyone kind of stands. Hopefully it works, right? Let's see if Jalen's comes in. It should be coming in. But type in what you guys have planned for Valentine's Day. The poll should start populating in any second. Nick, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Nick, your super chat should pop up in a second here or so. Let's see. I'm always uncertain as to why the poll is not showing up. All right, we'll see. It should populate. It should populate in a second. All right, but anyway, let's get to Nick's super chat while we wait there. Nick, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Nick said, what could I be doing wrong that could be making girls not wanting to go out with me? This is a good question, Nick. I think a lot of times, when you like someone or you talk to someone and you try to ask them out or get to know them better, things may not work out. And when it happens enough times, you start to wonder, is there something wrong with me? Am I a bad person? Am I doing something wrong? These are completely normal questions to ask. And I think that it isn't a matter of that you're doing something wrong in the sense that you are bad or you're just not a good or interesting person. I think a lot of times the challenge that comes with getting to know someone better and then asking them out comes in how we display ourselves, meaning how we put ourselves out there for the person to learn about us or to want to get to know us better. It comes with the communication piece. How are we talking to them? How are we interacting with them? Are we doing it in a way that's fun and playful and engaging and gets them in a position where they want to talk to us and want to learn more about us? I think that's the piece that you can that's where we can kind of do the real work, Nick. It isn't a matter of like there's something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you at all. But there are things you could probably tweak in your approach in how you talk to girls. The first one is, how do you decide who it is you want to talk to? Are you just seeing like a super, super attractive girl that's like super popular and maybe in a totally different friend group or totally different environment or atmosphere and saying, I want to go after her? And there's nothing wrong with doing that, but there are different steps and measures that may come into place in pursuing someone like that. So it's how do you go about finding the girls that you want to pursue? And then when you do find a girl that you feel like, oh, this seems like a cool, interesting girl, how do you present yourself? How do you talk about yourself? How do you ask questions? I think the only way to really dive into that, Nick, is to look at a case-by-case basis. I thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I'd love to dive into it deeper with you because I feel like it's an important thing to, why isn't the poll showing? It's an important thing to kind of address there. Maybe it's not, let's see. Maybe you don't type vote. What do you type? Hold on, I'm going to copy it and paste it in the chat. We'll see. When I paste it in here. Yeah, see, that one showed. I typed in vote date and it worked for me, guys. So it should be working for everyone else. I don't know why it only worked for me. Looking to see how other people typed it. Vote single. Yeah, it should work. Curse you, Streamlabs. I got to figure this out. I got to figure out why it doesn't work. But anyway. Oh, okay. More votes now are coming in. All right. It says 2 votes on my end. We will see. We will see. Anyway, Hamish, I want to get to your super chat there. All right, they're coming in now, it looks like. Hamish, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Hamish said, find a girlfriend, I wish, but it's hard being single. It's so hard. Yeah, Hamish, I totally get you on that. You guys have to write exclamation point vote and then the word, I think, for it to work. Yeah, Hamish, look, it sucks being single sometimes. You may feel like you really want to be with someone, or you may just kind of feel a bit lonely. And I think that there's a few things you can do to kind of manage the whole hype of Valentine's Day on your own. I'm going to share that a little bit later. But I think what you can honestly do is that, it's like there are going to be days where you're going to be happy with being single, right? You're playing video games, you're watching movies, you're hanging out with friends, you're just doing things to occupy your time. And then there are times where you are kind of lonely and alone. I think in those moments where you are lonely and alone, maybe those are opportunities for you to kind of say, okay, well, what opportunities do I have now to reach out to people? Maybe that's going to dating apps. Maybe that's kind of reaching out to friends or girls that you want to get to know better on social media and things like that. So it really is kind of putting yourself out there a little bit more and finding the opportunities that rest there when you are feeling lonely. Now, I think that sometimes it's like, it's the same way that like you don't go grocery shopping when you're hungry, right? Because you're going to end up buying a lot of different things. I don't think that you should be messaging people when you're feeling lonely, right? Like messaging people to get to know them better, like for a date, because you might end up saying something that might be desperate or weird or creepy. So the best time to kind of approach people to start to talk to them to see if you want to date is to kind of message them, like when you're normal and you're happy and you're excited. But thank you so much for the $5 super chat, Hamish. Hopefully some of the answers I give for the questions can kind of be helpful here. All right. The votes are coming in now. I don't know why it was, maybe just taking a while. Let's take a quick water break. I still haven't set up the water quotes to change. But all right, let's jump in and answer some questions. If you guys have questions for Valentine's Day, ask away in the chat. Let's see. Haramore says, Josh, I got a girlfriend. Do you got an idea for what I can do with my girlfriend on Valentine's Day? Yeah, that's a really, really good question. So I put together a few different ideas for what you can do on Valentine's Day here if you have a girlfriend. And I would say this. If you're going to meet up with her in person, one thing you may want to think about doing is this. These are a few different date night ideas if you're going to meet up in person. You can have a virtual dinner date or a picnic in the park, right? Depending on what it is you're choosing on doing, if you're going to meet up with her in person, maybe just find a local, simple place that you guys can either get lunch together, you guys can go hang out, go for a walk, you guys can just kind of enjoy nature, enjoy the atmosphere around you, or have a virtual dinner date. Maybe jump on a video chat call, eat dinner together if you guys aren't going to meet up in person. That's an option. Another one is playing a video game, a board game, doing a puzzle, some type of activity where the two of you can play together. Now, when it comes to video games, I would recommend some type of like 2-player video game where you guys are playing side by side. So you can go maybe play a retro game where it's 2 players, or play something that is the two of you working in tandem, right? So if you play a game like Portal 2, that's a 2-player game that you guys can work together, or any type of game where the two of you are kind of on the same team doing something. That can help build a bond and make it a more fun experience. Or a board game or a puzzle, something that's physical in the present. What I've learned from doing puzzles is that they're just fun. It's just fun. It's relaxing. It's a good way to kind of spend time with someone. And a board game can be competitive and fun, so you can kind of add a little bit of spice and fun to that romantic night. Another thing too, this is another good suggestion people told me a while back. Pick a TV series and see if you could binge watch it in the entire day, or try to binge watch as much as you can. Tell that person, hey, on Valentine's Day, let's meet up at like 9 in the morning. Let's get snacks. Let's get drinks. Let's get, food. And let's just hang out the whole day and just binge watch a TV show on Netflix. Let's try to get through like 3 seasons of a show. And that could just be a fun, engaging experience. You're spending a lot of time with someone, and that might be helpful in the process there. I also recommend here, draw or paint a portrait of each other. This could be another just fun and silly one to do as a date night idea. You can always just kind of, say, hey, listen, let's get a piece of paper and try to sketch me and I'll try to sketch you. And whoever draws the better picture maybe gets to pick what you guys eat for dinner or something like that. So you can kind of add this little fun game to it. Another one is sign up for a virtual escape room. I was looking into these. If you guys have ever done escape rooms, they're so much fun. You kind of go in, there's a bunch of little clues and challenges, and you have to kind of escape the room with all the clues and challenges. There are tons of virtual escape rooms online where people can kind of jump into a virtual room and try to solve these little puzzles. Try to solve these little puzzles and quizzes. So I would try checking that out. I think that might be helpful. Okay, let's go back here. Let's check our chat poll results. Most people are going to be single. Ask your questions in the chat, guys. Let's see what else you guys have to say. All right, let's see. Yeah, Anthony Quentel says, this might sound weird, but playing Call of Duty can work. Yeah, look, if she's into shooter games, like, play a shooter game with her. That might be a fun thing to do. Everglow says, dude, my girlfriend dumped me for a dude that plays ukulele on Tuesday. What are your thoughts? I don't know if it's okay to be kind of pissed. I think it's okay to feel kind of hurt, I don't think the fact that he plays ukulele matters. I think that's separate, but if she dumped you and she quickly moved on, I can understand how you'd feel hurt from that. And look, if you feel pissed, then that's a normal feeling too. I think ultimately the best thing you can do is to kind of recognize that if you guys broke up, then that means that there was a reason why, right? You guys maybe weren't compatible, or there was something that didn't allow you guys to really get along too well. Sure. Try to identify what that is. Try to identify what was missing in the relationship, and then plan for the next relationship and tell yourself, you know what? I'm going to try to do this better next time. Nick says, what do I do if I like a girl who's been going out with her boyfriend for over 5 years? Yeah, Nick, the longer a girl spends with her boyfriend, the less likely it is that, she's going to be single anytime soon. So I think that people that are in those long-term relationships there, it's best to kind of put them at the back of your queue list of who you're trying to approach or talk to. They're the last ones that probably have the best chance of kind of pursuing, especially if they've been in a relationship for a long time. And it sucks because it's like you may like someone and you're hoping for them to break up, but not everyone does, and that's okay. Grayson says, Josh, will high school be harder or easier to get a girlfriend? That's a good question. I personally think that as you get older, it becomes easier for you to get a girlfriend, right? So when you're in middle school, relationships are not that solid, right? So it's like, as you get older, you're starting to develop more of your personality and who you are, your likes, your interests. You're starting to come into yourself, into your own sense of being. And as you get older, it becomes easier to also go out on dates, go, drive a car, to do your own thing where you aren't like dependent on your parents. So when you do get to high school, I do think it'll be a lot easier to date. And I think that the relationship will be a lot more meaningful than a middle school one probably would be. All right, let's jump in here. Eduardo says, can you give I lost it. Where is it? Can you give a Valentine's Day gift to someone already in a relationship? That's a good question, Eduardo, and I would honestly say don't do it. I don't think you should give a Valentine's Day gift to someone in a relationship. I think what it could end up doing is this. It could end up, one, causing tension between you and that person, because let's say you give a gift to the girl, and then the boyfriend sees that you give a gift to the girl. Well, the boyfriend might be annoyed or upset at the girlfriend. The girlfriend might be upset with you, because it's like, the boyfriend may not want people to give gifts to his girlfriend. He may want people to respect that boundary. And by giving them a gift, you're kind of overstepping that boundary a bit. So it might make things awkward. It might actually hurt your chances with that person later on down the line. Let's see. Jalen says, trap and paint is a good date when it's safe to be in person. Yeah, exactly. There are a lot of things that are really fun dates, but you can't really do them now because of COVID. So it kind of changes things. You have to kind of think about a virtual scenario, how you guys may, if you can't see that person in person, how you can have a virtual date. But if you can go in person, what you could still do that's open and accessible, that's not closed off right now. Let's see. Let's get some more questions in here. Yancy says, Josh, what do I do when I don't want to feel lonely and alone on Valentine's Day during quarantine? Yancy, this is a really, really good question. I think that a lot of you guys probably are feeling that too. Let's pull that up here. So here are some ideas of what you can do if you are going to be alone on Valentine's Day. That's the wrong one. That's from last live stream. Okay. Here are some ideas if you guys are going to be single, and it looks like the majority of you will be single, judging by the poll there. Let's see. Make the day all about relaxing self-care. Yeah, this is something that I highly recommend, guys. If you're going to be single on Valentine's Day, there's no reason why you can't treat that day as a day to love yourself, right? Valentine's Day is all about love and kindness and care and romance and all these different things, but keep yawning. Sorry. It's the perfect day to take time to just love yourself, to kind of really focus on, taking a nice warm shower, just stretching and exercising and meditating and doing things that are calming for you, just take a long shower, a long hot shower, on this day, do it for yourself there. Allowing yourself to really focus on the element of self-care and relaxation that day is going to allow you to make the most of it, still participate in this love aspect, but for yourself. Because I don't think we spend a lot of time learning to love ourselves and appreciating just being with ourselves. So, it doesn't mean that being single is fun and exciting all the time, but there are things that you can do about that. Another thing here is have a movie marathon or start a new series. If you have nothing but time on your hands for Valentine's Day, think about all the TV shows that you've wanted to watch or the projects you've wanted to jump into, all the things that are on your back burner of stuff to do, and say, you know what? I'm going to make today a day where I go after what I want. I'm just going to do the things I want to do. It's going to be a day about me. And I think that's super important to do, taking time for yourself there, setting up a game night with all your friends. And look, it doesn't only have to be about you alone. You can spend that time talking to friends, interacting with friends, just enjoying the day as a social day. I think that's an important piece too. You can also just try a new activity there. I gave you some suggestions: cooking and drawing, writing, making a YouTube video, playing an instrument. Do something that's fun and fulfilling. Make Valentine's Day a day all about growth and yourself in that sense if you're going to be single. Or find a friend that you can vent to, right? Let's say you and another friend hate Valentine's Day. There's nothing wrong with just sitting there complaining to each other and just getting that steam off of your back as long as both of you are on board there. Sometimes talking to someone and just sharing your feelings makes things a lot easier. So anyway, I see there's a bunch of new people in the chat. Talisa Vasquez is in here. Stuart's in here. If you guys haven't already tried voting in the poll, all you got to do is type that ! Vote and then either single, date, or virtual, and it should pop up in the poll. Should balance out here. Looks like 3/4 of the people here are going to be single though. All right, let's see. Let's get some more questions. Stuart says, gonna be honest, don't care about Valentine's Day. Only difference this year is I get to not care in lockdown. I think that's pretty straightforward, right? You know, some people are just in lockdown with it. Rage Master says, this Valentine's Day, I'm going to stay off social media. That's a really good point. So I don't see pictures and videos of happy couples. Makes me feel jealous and desperate. Yeah. And I think Rage Master makes a really, really good point there, guys. If you're someone that kind of, you know, feels like you get sucked into social media and people are going to be posting tons of things on Valentine's Day and you just kind of, it makes you feel down about it, take the day off of social media. Like I said, make that day about self-care because, oh man, if you make the day about self-care and you shift your focus away from thinking about other people or worrying about other people, it's going to be easier for you to kind of really start to balance that time for yourself and really make it the most that you can. All right, let's get some more questions in here. Hey Josh, which is better, Valentine's Day or Singles Awareness Day? That's a good question. I think both are important. Both are important to whoever chooses to celebrate them or however you choose to celebrate them. I think ultimately what some people feel Valentine's Day ends up being is like that you're rubbing it in the face of other people, right? Like, oh, I'm in a relationship, I have a girlfriend, I'm going to post these pictures. But I think ultimately it's important to not practice or to try our best to curb our jealousy towards others who are in relationships, because if we were in relationships, we'd be happy too. We'd be happy to share that. We'd want to post things. So it isn't them. It isn't them and their relationship against us. It's like we're all in this individual playing field here. So if someone else is happy, you can be happy for them while still feeling sad for yourself, and that's totally normal. Supa says, I'm going to be confessing to my crush on Valentine's Day. Supa, you brought up the third point here. I feel like you guys are unlocking the hidden points that I have slides for here. Yeah, if you're going to be confessing to your crush on Valentine's Day, here's what I would recommend doing, Supa. If you want to ask your crush out for Valentine's Day, what I would recommend doing is this. Before Valentine's Day gets here, try to talk to them, right? Today is the 11th. You guys have 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and then Valentine's Day is on Sunday. You have Friday and Saturday. Try to set up time to video chat with your crush. Trust me on this. If you spend a little bit of time talking to your crush through video chat or through, calling, whatever it is, talking to them before Valentine's Day, when you do message them on Valentine's Day, it's not going to be weird or awkward. If you wait and then you message them out of nowhere on Valentine's Day, they may be like, oh my God, this is so weird. But if you're talking to them the days leading up to Valentine's Day, it's not going to be weird for you to message them. So I would recommend video chatting with them because that's going to help make it easier where if you do want to ask them out on Valentine's Day, or you want to confess your feelings or ask them out on a date for Valentine's Day, the preamble, the kind of build up to it is going to be a lot easier. It'll be less awkward. If you are planning on asking your crush out for Valentine's Day, you can always invite them out for something simple, guys. Go for a walk in the park. Go check out something cool. Go see, I didn't put a space there, someplace that's fun or cool. If there's something in your area that you think is worth checking out, maybe the sunset looks good from a certain area. Maybe there's a fun mountain to hike on. Maybe there's a cool store that has a lot of different lights up and it's nice and beautiful. Take your crush there. Invite them to go join you and check that out. Valentine's Day dates don't have to be complex. They don't have to be super, super romantic like we see on TV. They could be something simple and fun. The whole purpose really is to just kind of enjoy this calm, normal presence with the person that you like. So don't feel the need for them to be overly romantic, guys. It's like, there's nothing wrong with being romantic, but don't feel that pressure like you have to in order for it to kind of mean something. And then also another piece is if you are going to ask your crush out on Valentine's Day, make sure to make a follow-up date. A lot of people like to ask their crush on Valentine's Day, spend time with them, but not continue asking them out, continue making further plans. So don't let it be a one and done date. If you like your crush and you want to continue dating them, ask them out. Sorry, shouldn't have eaten before this. Ask him out on Valentine's Day and ask him out for a time after Valentine's Day. Meaning when you guys spend time on Valentine's Day together, say, hey, listen, what are you doing next week? You're a lot of fun to talk to. We should hang out again. Really try to keep that momentum train going. All right, let's go back here. Let's see. Anyone new that's joining in, guys, we have a Valentine's Day poll here. What are your plans for Valentine's Day? To vote in the poll, all you have to do is type what it says there on the screen, type the exclamation point, vote, and then a space, and then either single, date, or virtual. And you'll vote, and we'll see where you guys stand. What are your plans for Valentine's Day? All right, let's get some more questions in here. Let's see, what do we got? HH Official says, what if you go to an all-boys school? How do I go to get a Valentine's if I go to an all-boys school? That's a really good question, HH Official. I think if you go to an all-boys school and you don't really have a lot of access to girls right through school, the next best thing for you to do is, you got to understand is that your range is probably going to rest on mutual friends, right? So if there are girls that are friends of your guy friends, that might be the direction to take. So one way to kind of do that is, if one of your friends can kind of organize a group hangout with some of the girls that they know, some guys that they know, just a bunch of people, that might be a way for you to meet them. You can also kind of have someone set up like a group chat on Instagram and then just kind of randomly talk to the girls that are in there. You have to kind of look at your outlets to see where you can talk to girls, where you can kind of meet them and get to know them. Oh, it's lagging again. Why does it keep doing this every time for me? I apologize for the lag, guys. I don't know why it's lagging. Hopefully it'll get better. Let's see. Let's see what's going on with the stream health. It's really weird. Internet looks like it's fine. I guess we'll see. Anyway, we're still going. We're still kicking. All right. Let's get some more questions on here. Let's see. Harmore says, Josh, how can I go out or give a gift to my girlfriend on Valentine's Day during COVID? Yeah, look, this might be a challenge too. You might not really kind of be able to go out on Valentine's Day, right? Maybe you kind of are at home. Maybe your city or your town's on lockdown and you can't really go out and there's nothing to do. If you have a gift that you want to give to her, one thing you may want to do, and this might be super romantic, right? If you can maybe bring it to her doorstep, leave it on the doorstep and kind of like from a distance, like call her and tell her, hey, I got your gift. I put it on your doorstep. That might be a way for you to give it and pass it off to her. But I think ultimately, if you can't give it in person, let's say there's no way for you to do it, you might want to kind of wait until you can, or you might want to just mail it to her. And, there's only 2 days, so it might not get to her in time, but you can mail it to her. And then you guys can maybe both open it on a video chat together. If she got you a gift, if you got her a gift, that might be the best way. Azim says, if you can't ask them out on Valentine's Day, can it be made up the week after? Absolutely, yes. Azim, that's a really, really good point. Look, guys, we put a lot of pressure on Valentine's Day where this is the day you have to act. This is the day you have to do it. You have to finally ask him out today. Don't buy into that hype. You can ask your crush out anytime you want. You can make plans anytime you want. You can have the week after Valentine's Day be the real romantic get up and meet up. There's a lot of buildup that Valentine's Day has to be the day where you do this. No, you can just treat that like a normal day where maybe you ask that person out on a first date. You acknowledge it's Valentine's Day. Hey, look, it's Valentine's Day, but I figure we keep it casual. And then the second date could be the romantic one a week after. So don't feel like you have to jam pack everything that you want to do within the next 2 days because Valentine's Day is right around the corner. Take your time with it. The whole purpose of getting to know your crush is that you want to build up to something bigger and better. So don't feel like you need to kind of put all your eggs in one basket here just because Valentine's Day is right around the corner. All right, let's see. Got some more questions in here. Eduardo says, my crush's boyfriend said she's not allowed to talk to any guys, but recently she started FaceTiming me. Does this mean anything? That's a good question. First off, I think that if anyone is in a relationship where their partner tells them you can't talk to other people, that's not a healthy thing. No one should be in a relationship where their partner is making the decision for them who they can and cannot talk to. Whether you as an individual decide, you know what, I'm going to curb my communication with some people. I'm going to maybe let other people know not to message me so much. You as an individual can make those decisions. But if your partner is telling you you're not allowed to do it, that's not healthy. That is not a healthy relationship. That's controlling and manipulative behavior. On top of that, if your crush is choosing to FaceTime you, it could be a sign that maybe they just are interested in you and they want to talk to you and get to know you better. It could be a sign that they like you. It's hard to say because you know that she's in a relationship. It may be a way for her to kind of just rebel from what her boyfriend wants. It's hard to really kind of tell. I think ultimately what you're really going to know is that if you like her, if you start to notice that as you talk to her more, she becomes more flirty, she becomes more kind of open and starts to share more and starts to kind of like give more to the conversation in a way that's leading you to think that she likes you, that might be the point where you can just tell her, hey, listen, I like you, I want to get to know you better, but I know you're in a relationship, so you got to figure that out because I don't want to step on any toes, I want to be respectful. So it may be important to kind of tell her that and let her know. All right, let's see. More questions in here. By the way, join the Discord if you haven't. Yes, guys, join the Discord channel if you haven't. In fact, I'll bring it up here. Let's do a quick shout out to the Discord. There we go. If you guys are not a member of our Discord community, you need to join. And the reason why I say you need to join is because our Discord is filled with hundreds of people that are just awesome. They're working on being their best selves. It's just a great place to make friends, to communicate, to ask questions, to share your stories. I jump in there from time to time and I try to be as active as I can, but we just have a great community of people that are just helpful and kind. So if you're looking to make friends, you want to get advice on different things, there's lots of people in there that can share their personal stories and their perspectives on things. I think it's a great place to kind of just be on the internet. And if you're looking to kind of just here's someone else's perspective on what's going on in your life, the Discord is the best place to do that. So just go to thejoshspeaks.com/Discord to join it, guys. The Discord's where it's at. On top of that, I also want to say, after this live stream, after I finish up here on YouTube, I'm going to be going live over on Instagram for the Instagram after party. Now, our Instagram after parties are pretty cool. You guys are all invited. Every single person right now watching, you guys are all invited. Hey, Lil Alan, I know you got banned. We can talk about that later if you want. Yes, the Instagram after party. So what I like to do is I like to bring you guys onto video chat with me on Discord. So if you're someone that wants to come in and, just ask a question or just get a quick one-on-one FaceTime with me just to kind of talk and stuff, join a Discord, join the Instagram after party, request to join our video chat, and it'll be a lot of fun. All right, guys, let's jump back into some more questions. Let's see what else we got here. Put the poll back up if you haven't already voted. All right, let's see. To anyone that wants to kind of address their either banning or kick from Discord, message me on Discord or message one of the moderators, and we will evaluate and see, hey, what did you say? What happened? And we'll try to figure out from there whether it makes sense to bring you in. Because like I said, anyone that's been kicked from Discord, if you've been kicked out of Discord, it was probably because you were either saying something that broke the rules, you were being rude to another person, or you weren't kind of being respectful of the environment itself. So we don't want to bring people back in that are going to break those rules. But if you feel like you're not going to break them, you feel like you've changed and you've grown, then by all means, bring it back up and we'll see what we can do. All right, let's get some more questions in here. Alex Burns. Hey, Alex. Alex says, Josh, what happened to listening? What happened to listening to breakup songs? What happens? I will cry right after. Yeah. So, I mean, sometimes when you listen to breakup songs, music can sometimes help us kind of express and feel things deeper. So sometimes listening to breakup songs might be what you want to turn to when you are feeling sad and you're feeling kind of down. And look, it's okay to cry, right? It's okay to cry when you're sad. And if you feel lonely because you're going to be alone on Valentine's Day, it's okay to cry. There's nothing wrong with expressing that feeling and emotion. Sunglass Lover says, hey man, I'm back. What's happening for this video? Sunglass Lover, welcome back. This is an open Q&A, so if anyone has any questions, feel free to jump in, ask your questions, let me know what's on your mind, either on Valentine's Day, anything dating related, anything that you have planned. Let's see. Jalen says, hi Josh, can I ask her if it's okay to follow her? I wouldn't worry so much about asking her if it's okay to follow her. I would just follow her. Look, Jalen, if she unbanned you, then she's probably okay with you following her. So I would kind of jump in and follow her if that's what you want to do. Oh, Hamish, thank you so much for the £5 super chat. Hamish said, hey, I'm back from a Zoom meeting. No problem, Hamish. If you have any questions or anything that's on your mind, feel free to totally ask those questions in the live stream here in the chat. Thank you for the £5 super chat. And like I said, guys, if you have a burning question, something that's on your mind that you want to get my opinion on right now, you can always use the super chat function like Hamish did. But let's jump back in. And answer some more questions. See what else we got here. Plush Production says, Josh, I want to ask her to be my Valentine. And if she says yes, I want to ask her to be my girlfriend. How do I make the smooth transition from Valentine to relationship? That's a really good question. How do I get out the streets? All right. If you want to go from a Valentine's Day date to being in a relationship, there's got to be a bit of a process. There's time there, right? Time where you have to get to know her better. Time where you have to learn to see, hey, does this girl understand me? Do I understand her? Do we have things in common? Do we have any kind of shared values in life? You got to look for those things. And you're not going to figure that out on that first date on Valentine's Day. Let the Valentine's Day date be a way for the two of you to just enjoy the present moment together. Use it as a time to make jokes, to flirt, to talk to her, to get to know her better. And then if it all goes well, you can always follow up with, hey, let's go on another date, and spend more time getting to know each other. Maybe participate in some kind of outdoor activity. Do something with her. Doing those little things is going to allow you to start to really say, hey, we are really, really compatible. We get along really well. And after you've been doing it for a while, then I think, and like I said, there's no set amount of time how many dates you should go on. It all depends on how close you get to that person. But what I would say is that when you feel like you've gone on enough dates to the point where the two of you want to be exclusive with each other, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I really like you and I want you to be my girlfriend. But I think that that's going to be here and that Valentine's date's going to be here, and there's going to be a lot that has to happen in between first. Anthony says, I feel like Softwheat could really use this video. I miss Sweet. Yeah, I miss the Softwheat. He's such an interesting character sometimes. Anthony says, hey Josh, what are some good ideas for a gift for Valentine's Day in long distance relationships? I've written poems and drawings for my girlfriend, but I want to get creative and do something new. That's a really good question. Anthony, poems and drawings I think are really, really great creative things you can do. If you want some creative ideas for dates and stuff, or like gifts for Valentine's Day, creating something is always a good thing, right? Gifts and drawings. Another thing you said poems as well. You might even want to think about writing her a song, right? That might be something fun to do. It doesn't have to be good or the best or anything, but you can write a song and just maybe find an instrumental beat to put over it. As far as creative things go too, another thing that you can do that might be creative is, I'm trying to think, what are some virtual creative things? Yeah, I think ultimately what it's going to come down to is any kind of handcrafted thing you make is going to be good. Any kind of thing where it's like creative gifts mean that you're taking time and thought and you're putting it into whatever you want. So something you may want to also think that could be a fun virtual gift is like you might want to go online and see if you can create a puzzle. I know there's different websites you can create like custom puzzles, and send her a custom puzzle of you and then order a custom puzzle of her and see which one of you guys can finish their puzzle first. Do something fun like that. Like there are lots of things you could do with that. Maybe you also want to kind of take a picture book and make a picture book of like your favorite photos of her and your favorite photos of you side by side. Even though it's a long distance online relationship, maybe it's a book that's just filled with photos you like of each other. Little things like that might be fun and creative. Living in 2021, I love your Goosebumps icon, says, Josh, what do I do on Valentine's Day to a girl to show how much I care about her, even though she is gay or asexual? Yeah, that's a good question. So if your crush is gay, right, let's say you like a girl and she likes girls, I think ultimately it's like, if you're approaching her with the sense of wanting to date her, she's not really into guys, so she's probably not going to be as interested in that. But look, you can still offer a sense of kindness on Valentine's Day. Like if you offer someone well wishes and send them a message and say, hey, happy Valentine's Day, that's a good thing to do. But if your crush isn't into guys, you might be kind of approaching a situation where it's not going to go anywhere. Now, if your crush is asexual, asexual people don't enjoy engaging in maybe any kind of sexual romantic experiences, but that doesn't mean that they limit themselves and don't engage in kind of still fun and engaging personal experiences too. So if your crush is asexual, you can still hang out with her, you could still make plans with her, you could still do something active and fun with her. I suggested a few different kind of virtual things you could do online, like a virtual escape room. You could still participate in those things. It just maybe remove the sexual nature of Valentine's Day, which might be something like holding her hand or going for a kiss or something that, depending on her level of comfort and stuff like that, take that approach, I would say. Rage Master says, what are you and your wife going to do for Valentine's Day? That's a good question, Rage Master. We've both decided that we are going to do nothing. We're going to just relax. We're going to spend time together. We're not going to kind of worry about putting pressure on ourselves to go out and do something because, listen, the pandemic is crazy. So we want to just kind of take the time to just appreciate each other, spend time together, and relax. That's probably the best gift we can give one another. All right, let's get some more questions in here. Like I said, if you haven't voted in the poll already, guys, it's dropped a little bit. It went from 75% being single to 71% being single. So it looks like a quarter of you guys are going on an actual date, and then maybe 5% of you are doing virtual dates. So let's jump back to this chat poll for a second here. I'm curious. For those of you that are going on a date or planning on going on a date, what are you guys planning on doing? What are some date ideas that you have planned? For those of you that are doing virtual date, the 5% of you, what's your virtual date plan? And for those of you that are single, what do you think realistically you're going to do what do you think you're realistically going to spend that day doing? Just open up, share it in the chat. I want to hear. Let's see. And I'll answer some more questions. Anthony says, I almost forgot I'll be spending my Valentine's Day breaking down the new WandaVision episode. That's awesome, Anthony. Yeah, no spoilers here, guys, but crazy episode. Scott says, asexual people still engage with people romantically and like to have relationships, so they might want to spend time with you. Absolutely. Like I said, it's like you can still have romantic engagements being someone that's asexual, but you may not participate in any kind of the sexual aspects of it. So they may still enjoy receiving gifts, and doing romantic things and enjoying the presence and company of another person. So don't look at it like, oh, my crush is asexual. I don't know what to do. It's going to be weird. They still appreciate all the same things that other people do, just without the sexual aspect of it. But thank you for bringing that up, Scott. I think it's good to clarify that point. All right, let's see. If you have any more questions, drop them in the chat, guys. Just reading through the chat here. Oh, okay. So some of you guys are sharing. Yes, let's see what you guys are saying here. Cheesy said, me and my girlfriend have been tested. I'm going around to her house for the day. Oh, cool. So you guys have been tested. You guys are okay. You're safe. Going to her house. That's awesome, dude. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful time. Juan says, why do I like always my masses? Juan, I think that the reason why you might enjoy going to mass is because it's fun to be around people that are happy and engaging and singing songs. And I know that you're someone that really, really appreciates your faith and you really enjoy having your faith. So I think that that's why you enjoy going to mass. I think it's a fun, nurturing experience for you. MBBK says, I'm going to grind the new Call of Duty. Yeah, dude, go for it, man. Manbull says, I'm going to try something. I'm going to try something with a girl, even if it's walk around town. Absolutely, man. Look, even if it's going for a walk, like I said, COVID has kind of really, really shaken things up. So if it's something simple, just like going for a walk, that could still be a fun romantic date. Alexander Cole says, we were really good friends, though. Yeah, I hear you on that. Lil Allen says, what do you think I should do if later on down the line I want to get a girl? Let's just say, but I choose not to enroll in college. Any advice? So wanting to get a girl and not enrolling in college are two separate things here. But I think ultimately that if you're choosing not to enroll in college, but you still want to get a girl, I wonder if you might be wondering that if you're not in college, it might be hard for you to meet people. I think that if you're not in the college environment and you still want to meet people, you can still take the approach of talking to people in the street or going through mutual friends or using dating apps in those other realms to kind of get there. Adrian says, tip for Valentine's Day. Don't simp if she ain't yours, pimp. I guess that's a tip for Valentine's Day, guys. All right. Talisa says, I sent my crush a poem and he seemed to really like it, but he hasn't really made a move yet. Should I make a move and ask him to be my Valentine or boyfriend? That's a good question, Talisa. I personally think that if you sent him your poem and he hasn't really made a move yet, focus on him just being your Valentine, not your boyfriend. I don't think you're maybe at a point yet where you guys can be in a full-on relationship with each other. So I would say make the focus first and foremost just getting to know him better, and kind of spending Valentine's Day with him, talking, hanging out, interacting, see what you guys have in common so you guys can kind of relax and unwind in that sense. All right, let's see. Some more people said here. Plush Production says, either if we do a virtual, then FaceTime, or in person, then either hanging out at the house or at the park. Cool, man. Cool. Yeah. I think those are good ideas. Like I said, it could be simple. Valentine's Day could be simple. It doesn't have to be complex. Dark Knight Play says, hey Josh, what do I do to make my crush not mad at me? We had an argument and she's mad at me, so I want to know what I could do to make her not mad at me. That's a good question. So if your crush is mad at you, it's important to reflect on why that happened, right? Our initial thought is whenever people are upset with us, we want to make them stop being upset. That's where our focus goes. And I think where our focus needs to be is not on how do I change their emotional landscape? How do I change how they're feeling? It's how can I create a new environment where they're okay with moving away from those feelings? So here's what I think you could do instead of thinking, what can I do to change her mind? It's reassure her that you've learned from the experience. This is a key piece. Learn from what happened. Learn from what went wrong. Think about what you could do differently next time. And just reassure her of that. Let her know, hey, listen, I'm really sorry about what happened. I probably shouldn't have done that. I recognize that now, and I understand you're upset. I want to give you space and time, but I just hope eventually you can kind of forgive me. We can move forward. Put that out there. You're creating the environment that you want to happen, and you're giving her the opportunity when she's ready to kind of move into that. Rage Master said, like I said before, stay off media so I don't have to see any more photos and videos of couples. Makes me jealous and desperate. I hope he makes a video about limit social media and the truthful facts. Yeah, definitely. I have a lot planned on social media and a lot of the problems with it, guys. I got a lot of problems with social media and you're going to hear it. All right, Alexander Cole says, I really want them to break up. He is 16. I'm about to be 17. Yeah, I hear you on that. Look, when your crush is dating someone else, it can be really hard to deal with. It's not an easy situation at all. Uzi or Ozzy says, hey Josh, do you know how to deal with someone who is a bad texter? That's a good question. If a person is a bad texter, it could mean a few different things. It could mean that they are just not someone that tends to text a lot. Maybe they don't really kind of communicate over text. That's not really their way of interacting with people. And if they don't really communicate over text, maybe the best thing is to kind of call them or talk to them in person if you can, or find another way to communicate. But ultimately, what I think you can really, really focus on doing there is that if they're a bad texter, it might also be that the messages that you're sending them or the things you're communicating about aren't engaging enough. So that's the first step you can take. Reevaluate the messages you've sent them and ask yourself, have I sent engaging messages? Have I asked questions that they can actually answer? Or am I kind of sending them boring texts like, hey, how's it going? What's up? What are you up to? These kind of very boring, basic texts. So maybe try to up your texting game and the things you talk to them about. And then once you do that, say, hey, are they just still not communicating? Maybe texting isn't the best way to talk to them. Let's get some more questions. Like I said, guys, if you haven't already hit the thumbs up on this video, we are at 56 likes. We can easily get this to 60 likes. Let's get this to 60 likes, guys. All right. Let's get some more questions in here. Anthony says, hey, Josh, what is it that girls seem to not be interested in nerds? Because they seem to always run into this. So, I feel like the nerd persona is kind of shifting a bit, right? Like, if you go back 10 years, if you liked Marvel and all these things, let's say more than 10 years, before the MCU became big, if you liked Marvel and all of these things, you were kind of considered this weirdo and stuff. But now that a lot of it's becoming mainstream and people are watching these shows, you know, all these TV shows, all these movies that are out there, I feel like a lot of times, it's kind of more normalized. But the girl you like or the girl you want to pursue might still feel like you're a bit of a nerd. The nerd label tends to be tied to the depth how much you go into something. So let's say you just casually watch the Marvel movies and Marvel shows, maybe you're not considered a nerd. But if you're someone that like knows all the detail, knows all the characters, knows every crossover, knows every Easter egg, knows everything, they may feel like, whoa, you're so in depth with that. Now, it's not a knock on you. It's not to say you're doing anything wrong, but I think for them, it's something so disconnected from their world. So that might be where they feel the disalignment. Like, oh, you're so into something that I know nothing about, and therefore it doesn't seem interesting to me. Chandler Lewis, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate it, Chandler. Chandler says, how should I try to pursue a coworker I barely see? This is a really, really good question. So if there's a coworker that you like, someone that you want to get to know, and you're not sure how to kind of really approach them, right? If they're a coworker that you barely see, you have to kind of look for those opportune moments where you can probably get your coworkers together. So here's the thing. One thing you could try doing is organizing, kind of like a hangout after work with a bunch of your coworkers. Now, that can kind of differ depending on if you work certain shifts and they work certain shifts and you guys aren't in alignment there. But you might want to say, hey, listen, tell your coworkers to spread the news. Hey, let's all get together on Friday and just hang out or get to, go out or something like that. That might be a way, because trying to pursue a coworker when you're at the job is going to be difficult, because there's a lot of pressure for them to A, not mess up their job and do it wrong, but B, they may feel that by like flirting with people, it might put their job in jeopardy. They might get fired for it. Other people might get jealous or annoyed. They may feel like it's distracting them from their work. So in order to avoid that, what you want to do is get that person in an outside environment. And the best way to do that is say like, hey guys, let's all go out and get something to eat on Friday. Let's try to get everyone together. That might be one way to do it. Another way is that if you do kind of casually interact with your coworker here and there, try to shift it from that over to like social media. It's probably the next best thing for you to do. If you're following them on Instagram, following them on Snapchat, whatever is talking to them there, try to have the conversations through there. And then what you do is when you talk to them online through social media, make references, make jokes that you can make in person that other people won't get. That so that it feels more private and it'll help connect you guys better. But I think ultimately trying to organize something in person where you can get them out of that environment where you can now approach them and talk to them and flirt with them is the first step. And then the second step is try to get them on social media. Maybe bring something up to them like, oh yeah, hey, you on Instagram? Let me add you on there. You seem like a cool person. And then boom, from there, try to get the conversations going. But thank you for the $5 super chat, Chandler. If you have a follow-up question, type it in the chat. I'll try to address it deeper. I hope that was helpful. Shout out to all my nerds. Yeah, look, dude, I'm a nerd. I think a lot of us, I got all these action figures behind me. I think we're all nerds to some degree. But I feel like the nerd culture has kind of become more normalized just because it's like a lot more people are just consuming all this stuff. Okay, TG Josh, I like that name, Josh, says, hey Josh, how do I get to know my crush and or ask them to be my Valentine? Yeah, I shared this, I shared some ideas for what you could do when it comes to asking them, but let's talk for a minute here about asking them, how to ask them. How do you ask them to be your Valentine? Here's what I would recommend. If you're going to ask your crush to be your Valentine, what I would recommend doing is this. Try talking to them first before Valentine's Day. But let's say you don't. Let's say there's no way for you to communicate with them. You're not in that moment right now. Right now you're kind of just, you just want to go for it on Valentine's Day. Here's what I would recommend you do. What I would recommend doing is tell them that you don't have plans for Valentine's Day, and if they're free, there's something really cool that you want to check out, and they can always join you. Think about an activity or something fun that you want to do first. Let that be the first thought. Say, oh, this is really cool event happening. Or, oh, you know what? This is really cool park near me. Or this really cool place that's doing food delivery. Or you can eat outside or whatever. Come up with something fun and interesting. And then bring it up to your crush. Say, hey, listen, there's this really cool thing. If you've never tried it before, you got to try it with me. It's so much fun. It's so cool. And invite them to come do that with you. On Valentine's Day, say, let's do it on Valentine's Day. Don't worry. And you might even want to tell them, don't worry, this is not a super romantic date. Let's just hang out and hang out with each other and have fun. Like, emphasize that, so they don't feel the sense of pressure, like, oh my God, they want to hang out, but it's Valentine's Day. Does that mean it's like a romantic date? All these questions might start to pop up. If you're treating Valentine's Day like a normal date, let them know that. I feel like that'll make it easier. Azim says, I think I like a coworker who I want to ask out. Question is, she's only free on Tuesdays and Saturdays and also has a kid. Any tips? Yeah, so that, I mean, if you like a person that has a kid, that definitely adds a level of complication to things because in terms of them hanging out or spending time, they would have to make sure they have someone taking care of their child, right? But if she's only free Tuesdays and Saturdays, I'm curious, when are you free, Azim? Are you also free on Tuesdays or Saturdays? If you're not free on Tuesdays and Saturdays, then it's going to be kind of difficult to make plans there. But what I would recommend is that if you, for example, right, close to her, right, if you can travel, do something that's close to her, or B, do something that's like right in her neighborhood. And it's maybe during the day and not at night. Or if her schedule works where her kid's sleeping at night, maybe she's more comfortable going at night. But a lot of times if a person has a kid, they're more comfortable doing things during the day for like an hour or two rather than at nighttime spending like 3 hours together. That might be the approach. You might want to say, hey, listen, after work, how about let's go grab something to eat if you're free on Saturday? And then, get back home and stuff like that in case you have responsibilities to take care of your kid and stuff. So really try to, it's lagging again. Why does it keep lagging? I'm going to message Optimum and give them a piece of my mind, guys. Mine, not Min's. Yeah, I don't know why it's lagging so much. Hopefully it's going to come back together. We'll see. All right, looks like it's getting better now. No. I don't get why it does this. It just randomly starts to buffer out. Anyway, guys, let's go with a few more questions here. Rage Master says, I think Valentine's Day is not about romance or anything. It's about the person who you care about. Absolutely, absolutely. How you choose to spend Valentine's Day is all going to come down to the person you want to spend time with. I think that's ultimately what matters most. Daniel says, going to have to head out for jazz band, but I should be on the Discord after party depending on how long it goes. Nice being here. Definitely, Daniel. Thank you for jumping in. I hope to see you on the Discord after party. All right, I think it's going smooth now. Yeah, I'm going to message Optimum and see what is going on there. I don't know why it's lagging so much. While we wait, join the Discord. Absolutely, guys. Thank you for sharing that, Dono. Yeah, guys, join the Discord. It's an awesome, awesome community. I'd love to have you as a part of it. All right. Everglow says, hey, Josh, on a scale of predictability, rank these days to ask out your crush. Valentine's Day, a random day in September, Christmas, the day you and your crush met, or before homecoming. Those are all pretty random days. Okay. I would say the worst day to ask out your crush is Christmas. People usually spend time with their families on Christmas. Here, I'll pull up the chat here so you can see. People usually spend time with their families on Christmas, so that's probably going to be the hardest time to get them to hang out with you. Let's see. Valentine's Day, random day is September. The day you and your crush met before homecoming. I would say maybe the second worst day is the day you and your crush met. Maybe because if you just met that person, asking them out, it's like there's nothing wrong with it. It might be better for you to ask them out that day, but I think it's harder to get them to want to commit to going on a date with you when you just met them. Maybe you have to take a little bit more time and talk to them first. So I would say that's the second one. Before homecoming, I'll address that. I think that if you want to ask your crush out to homecoming, you should definitely do it way before homecoming. I'm talking about a month or more. You want to start investing that time in getting to know them first and talking to them before you ask them to homecoming. You don't want to wait for the weekend of homecoming and then ask them, because that's going to be a disaster, because there's a lot of planning that goes around homecoming. So they want to kind of make sure they're ready for that. And then a random day in September, I'm not sure. I'm not sure why a random day in September, but I would probably put that as the easiest time to ask them out. Yeah, every 5-10 minutes it lags. Yeah, I'm going to look into it hard more and see what's going on, because I upgraded my internet on Optimum, so it shouldn't lag, but we'll see. Alex says, is Josh seeing my question? I might have missed your question, Alex. No. I could see you, Alex. We can all see you, man. All right, let's see. TG Josh says, okay, I got to go see you, Josh. All right, TG Josh, thanks for jumping on. All right, I'm going to answer two more questions. Two more questions before we head on over to the Instagram after party. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up on this video, guys. And let's see. I'm going to grab two more questions, and then we will head on over. Let's see who we got here. Lil Allen says, can we speak privately today on Instagram about getting me unbanned from your Discord? I made a new Discord about 2 months ago, but your server still has my IP banned. Yeah, Alan, message me on Instagram, and I'll look into what happened before your ban, and we can decide from there and figure it out. Okay. Belusik, hey, Belusik says, I'm going to school with my crush every day. Sometimes there is awkward silence. We hug when we greet. How to make the conversation interesting? This is a good question. Really, really good question. So you're going to school with your crush every day, and sometimes there's this awkward silence, but you guys hug each other. I think the way that you kind of make the conversation fun and interesting is ask yourself, how much do I know about this person? Do I know what their hobbies and their interests are? Do I know what they like to do for fun? Do I know what their favorite TV show is? Do I know like where they like to spend time hanging out with their friends? I put it up here, and I hope the page is not broken because I'm redesigning my website, guys, but I think the page should be active. If you don't know what to talk to your crush about and you want to have more interesting conversations, check out my Icebreaker Conversation Starters Guide. Just go to thejoshspeaks.com/ice-breakers. And what I put together is a guide of 20 questions that you can ask your crush to get to know them a little bit better. And then in that guide, I've also broken down follow-up questions and variations of the questions too that you can ask. So there's a whole lot of questions really packed into this guide for you to kind of get to know your crush better and for you to talk to them more. So I think that if you notice that there's a lot of awkward silence, it could just be that you don't really know what to talk to them about. This guide is going to give you a lot to talk to them about. So I would highly recommend checking it out. I think that'll be helpful. But asking more fun and engaging questions is going to be the first step. And then on top of that, I think kind of flirting with them, complimenting them and stuff, and then leading that talking to maybe hanging out one-on-one outside of school might be the next best step. But check out the Icebreaker guide, guys. I think it'll be helpful. Like I said, if you haven't voted in the poll, jump in. I'm gonna tally the poll at the end. I'm gonna close it at the end so we could see where we stand. All right, last question here is going to be FXS says, who else lives in a place where we don't have any kinds of dances and stuff like homecoming, prom, and so on? Yeah, that's interesting. FXS, where do you live? That because I know like not everyone does homecoming, but prom tends to be something most places do. So I'm curious where you live that you may not have that. All right, Dylan Johnston says, so me and my crush have a quick glance at each other, but we never talk to each other. What should I do? So if you are having quick glances with your crush, you guys are looking at each other every so often, there's a little bit of exchange there. I think ultimately what's going to happen, what you're going to have to do is this. You're going to have to take that step forward and approach them if you want to make something happen from it. Because what tends to happen is that when you and your crush look at each other a lot, but there's no action, your crush starts to think, okay, that person just doesn't like me. A lot of times your crush is waiting for you to approach them, waiting for you to talk to them, waiting for you to kind of say something so that you can take it to the next step. And even if you approach them and they say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not interested, that's fine. But something has to happen. You guys are just going to keep looking at each other. Nothing's going to happen. So here's what I would recommend doing. When you look at your crush, there's 3 pieces you should focus on. One is making that eye contact, and it seems like you're doing that. Second one is smiling, right? When you look at them, smile. And then the third one is say hi. So if you just look at them, it's weird. If you just smile, it's weird. If you just say hi, it's weird. But when you combine all 3 of those and it's like, hey, how's it going? How you doing? It creates the opening for you to now talk to them. You know, instead of just looking at them directly, next time just say, hey, what's up? How you doing? I feel like we've never talked before. What's your name? Like start the conversation there because I think that's going to help them kind of now feel comfortable talking back to you. So that's what I would recommend doing. Guys, this has been our Valentine's Day live stream here. I started off by asking you guys the chat poll question here. What are your plans for Valentine's Day, right? And 73%, the numbers jumped up a bit. 73% of you guys are going to be being single, right? Most of you guys are going to kind of spend Valentine's Day alone. 20% of you guys are going to be going on in-person date, and about 4% of you guys are going to kind of be doing an online virtual date with someone. So since the majority of you guys are going to be single for Valentine's Day, by the way, thank you guys all for voting in the poll. Since the majority of you guys are going to be single for Valentine's Day, don't hesitate to get a bunch of friends together and, kind of just game together, do an online watch party of some sort, join our Discord and just chat with people just like you, or take that day to kind of really, really focus on self-care. That might be a day where you kind of relax. You listen to simple, soft music. You hang out in your bed. You just kind of take a nice, warm, hot shower and relax and just enjoy the day. Make it about yourself, Valentine's Day can be super stressful. And like Rage Master said, maybe take some time away from social media. If you feel like you're going to be jealous and annoyed that other people are doing all these lovey-dovey stuff, take some time for yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. And make Valentine's Day just a special day for you in your own way. Thank you guys again for being a part of this live stream. I think you guys know what time it is. Time for our mindful moment. I have my bell right here. And what I want us to do in this mindful moment here is every single person watching, let's all kind of come together now. We answered a lot of questions. We talked about a lot of things here. Now I want us to take the time to think, because Valentine's Day, like I said, it's a day all about love and who you choose to spend that love, how you choose to share that love, whether it's with yourself or with someone else. It's about the person you care about. And I want you to think what that self-care looks like. Since the majority of you guys are going to be single on Valentine's Day, let's close. Whoa, man. I almost dropped the bell. It slid right off the thing. All right. We are stable. Let's close our eyes and let's think about what self-love looks like for ourselves. What does it mean to love ourselves, to offer that love to ourselves? Maybe that means being kind to ourselves. Maybe that means indulging in something we enjoy, participating in something we have fun with. Let self-care be the center of your Valentine's Day, this Valentine's Day when it comes up on the 14th here. So I want us to take just a few minutes. Let's close our eyes. Think deeply about what it means to love ourselves and how we can show that on Valentine's Day for ourselves. It's almost as if you are looking at your own self, your own heart, and you're saying, I love you and I appreciate you for who you are. Tell that to yourself now. As you close your eyes and we listen to the sound of the bell. Let's warm up the bell first. Warm it up. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this live stream. I appreciate each and every single one of you. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day. And like I said before, join our Discord if you're looking for a place to make friends, get to know people better, and just kind of hang out and share your thoughts and feelings. If you want, check out the other videos I have over here where I break down more things you might be wondering about Valentine's Day. I think it'll be helpful. And anyone watching live, I'll catch you over on Instagram for the Instagram after party. And then, guys, I'll catch you next time. As always, love and peace. See you guys then.